Nate and Sully had narrowed down their search to a specific clock tower in a Madagascan city after ruling out the other 11 possibilities. As they made their way through the bustling market, they finally reached the lock tower. Undeterred, they found a way to climb the exterior of the building and entered through an open window. Once inside, they were greeted by the sight of Edward England's sigil on the floor, a promising sign that they were on the right track. They climbed a short flight of stairs and found a set of doors that led them into the clock tower proper. In the middle of the floor, they discovered a pedestal with a circular indentation. Nate placed the coin they had obtained from Scotland into the indentation, and the pedestal receded into the floor, revealing four statues a scorpion, a man holding a water pitcher, a lion, and a bull. These statues were identified as zodiac signs, and locks on the floor matching their respective zodiac symbols also appeared. Four bells then rang out from the top of the tower, signaling that a puzzle needed to be solved. As a spiral staircase rose from the floor, Nate grappled his way up it, while Sully attempted to call Sam to let him know that they had found the right tower. However, the call went to voicemail. Nate traversed the clock tower, ringing the bells in the order the statues appeared. After he rang the last bell, Avery's sigil appeared on the floor, but it did not seem to do anything. Nate then attempted to ring the largest bell in the tower, but the mechanism broke and the bell collapsed, causing Nate to fall with it. However, he managed to grapple his way to safety. The impact of the bell on Avery's sigil broke open a passageway, leading Nate and Sully deeper into the tower. As they made their way down a flight of stairs, they found a chamber with statues of Chew and Avery, 3 doors, and a large golden wheel with sigils on it. Nate solved a puzzle by aligning the sigils correctly, revealing parts of a map. Just as they are discussing the map, Sully's phone rings and Nate answers it, expecting it to be Sam. Instead, it is Rafe, who reveals that he paid to find them and offers Nate an exit. Nate declines and realizes that their phones have been hacked. He tries to call Sam to warn him, but the call cuts out after Sam is shot at by Shoreline. Nate and Sully then make a hasty escape from the clock tower, fighting their way through Shoreline and eventually catching up to Sam on a motorcycle chase. The chase ends in a shipyard, where Sam and Nate take a brief rest before returning to their motel. Once inside the motel room, Nate is surprised to find Elena, his wife, present and looking over his data of Avery's treasure. She is doubtful and accusatory, but willing to listen when Nate says he can explain. He then introduces her to Sam, who he has never mentioned to her before. Nate goes on to explain that he thought Sam was dead and that finding Avery's treasure was the only way to clear his name. He also reveals that they are close to finding the location of Libertalia, a legendary pirate colony where Avery's treasure is believed to be hidden. Elena is shocked and uncertain about what to do next, but Nate is determined to find the treasure and clear his name.
Hey, what are you doing? Go after her.
We're not done here.
Nate and Sam have arrived at a small archipelago in the Indian Ocean. Nathan is still recuperating from breaking his marriage vows and his friendship, but Samuel tries to reassure him by claiming that finding Henry Avery's treasure would change their minds. Upon arriving at the archipelago, they find a watchtower, and upon pressing a button, a series of arrows appear throughout the island chain. They follow the arrows to a subterranean cave on the largest island, where they discover lavish ruins and the concept of Libertalia, a legendary pirate utopia. They find a chamber, where upon completion of a puzzle reveals the statues of the 11 pirates who founded Libertalia, but Avery's statue is missing. They then notice a humongous statue of Avery emerging from the other larger island and decide to investigate. Upon arriving on the island containing Avery's statue, Nathan climbs the statue and looks through a spyglass, spotting a bigger island in the distance, presumably the location of Libertalia. However, before they could set off, they spot Shoreline ships arriving, prompting them to immediately leave for the Libertalia in the midst of a brewing storm.
Nathan! They're gaining on us!
Nate wakes up marooned on an island. He tries to call out for his brother but receives no answer. He treks through the island during a heavy storm, climbing walls and eventually falling into a cave where he rests until the storm passes. After waking up again, he exits the cave and spots a flashing light in the distance which he assumes is Sam. He continues to trek through the island, using a piton attached to a corpse to scale cliffs and arming himself during an encounter with Shoreline. He eventually finds Sam, who is determined to find the treasure and refuses to be swayed by Nate's reluctance. The two continue to search the island before eventually reaching the paradise that is Libertalia.
Holy crap. You still want to go home? Let's just see what else we can find.